That's weird. It got all dark all of a sudden. Hang on. Much better. All right. Hi. Welcome to I think post number 5. Yeah, post number 5. This one is a little bit, I guess, deeper than other posts have been. Relationships. I was thinking a lot about relationships recently and decided why not make a vlog about it. So relationships. I've seen a lot of really good relationships, and I've seen a lot of really bad relationships, and I've seen everything in between. Personally, I've been in more relationships than I actually care to admit. And this is not like friendship or family relationship. This is like you and someone who's not related by blood, hopefully not related by blood, in a romantic relationship. You know, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 husband, wife, etc., etc. And I've been in more than I care to count. Care to admit, really. And realistically, I've only ever been in 2, maybe 3 really like truly meaningful ones. Something that to me, I don't count time as meaningful. I count more experiences and how we interacted with each other as meaningful. So yeah, 2 or 3. And, like I said before, I've been in good relationships, I've been in bad relationships. And really, it's not about people outside looking in saying if it's good or not. It's whether you two believe it's good or not. If it works for you guys and both of you are happy, then who's to say, who's to say that your relationship is bad? Who's to hate on your relationship, depending on how you guys got together or things you do together, what have you. If it's not criminal and it's not hurting anybody and you two are happy, by all means, carry on with the relationship. You know what I mean? Just as long as no one's getting hurt, though. That's the thing. You don't want your relationship to be at somebody else's expense, because that's just, it's you being a shitty person, basically. What qualifies as a good relationship? If you guys are happy, I've been in relationships where I wasn't happy and I got out. I've been in relationships where I wasn't happy and I stayed in trying to make it work. It's easy for a good relationship to go south. It's a lot harder to shift a bad relationship into being a good relationship. If this is distracting you, then I'm really sorry. I talk with my hands, and honestly, there's a lot more going on screen than just me talking like this. Anyway, sorry, I digress. It's really hard to make a bad relationship go to being a good relationship. It takes communication. I've read a lot of self-help books in my time. And every single relationship counselor, every single self-help relationship book, everything like that, they all say the same thing. Communication is key. Communication leads to trust, and trust is one of the main building blocks of a good relationship. If you don't trust each other, what's the fucking point? Communication at all costs is key. And that's talking about I'm not going to say everything, because, I believe in good relationships, a little bit of privacy is warranted. You don't want your partner knowing 100% of everything that you're doing. Likewise, personally, I don't want to know 100% of everything my partner is doing. It's nice to keep each other updated. Like, oh, I'm going to the movies with so and so, or oh, I'm going to be a little late. Something like that. That's perfectly fine. But reading each other's emails and text messages and looking at the call logs, that breeds distrust, which distrust is a relationship killer, no matter what. At least in my experience, it has been. So like I was saying before, communication is key. One thing that I recommend personally is setting aside a certain time on a certain day throughout the week, when the two of you aren't doing anything else, you're just sitting around doing nothing. And don't make it like spontaneous, like it's different every week. Make it part of your weekly regimen. Make it part of your weekly routine to sit down with your significant other, have a cup of coffee, have a beer, something like that, and talk about the relationship. Talk about, are the two of you happy? Your goals, your wants, your dreams, your wishes for this relationship. Are they being fulfilled? Are you being fulfilled in your relationship? Not just sexually, But everything else, are you guys talking enough? Do you spend enough time together? Do you want to spend less time together? I don't believe that a relationship you should spend 100% of your time with the other person, because then you just get fucking tired of each other. You need boys' time and you need girls' time. That's just my opinion, though. Of course, my opinion isn't the law. I'm just some dickhead with a YouTube channel and a phone that decided I'm going to start recording myself talk. I'm not a licensed relationship counselor or anything. I got a good idea as to what's going on, I guess, in my own life and in my own relationships. Personally, right now, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm really not. Someday I will be. And someday I hope to look at this video and remember, oh yeah, that's what I thought at that one point. Are my ideals the same about relationships? I like to think that they would be, because it's, going along the lines, don't be a shitty person. Talk to your significant other. Are you happy? Is there something that's wrong? If there's something that's wrong in the relationship, bring it up. Tell somebody. Or preferably tell your significant other, hey, I'm having a problem with this. When you said this, I felt like this. One thing I've learned is saying the words "I feel." You can't really discount what someone feels. If you guys get an argument and you say, "When you said this, when you said this, I felt like you said this," and then that tells them like, "Oh shit, maybe I need to get my head on my ass and communicate a little bit better." It's a lot better than when you said this, you meant this. It's putting words in their mouth, and it just furthers the argument. Everybody in the world has some sort of baggage, and that baggage affects the way they view the world, and that baggage affects the way they deal with relationships. Like me personally, my parents were divorced. They split when I was 12 years old. So leading up to that, sorry mom, sorry dad, they didn't have the best relationship. They didn't talk to each other as much as I feel that they should have. They argued a lot, but there was a lot going on that as a kid I didn't see. And, as a 13 years with experience, I can look at that relationship and say, oh, this is what's going on. And especially talking with my mom and my dad about it, I now know what was going on in the relationship. I'm not going to put their business out there. That's their business, not mine, not yours. But, it really shaped how I viewed relationships. It really shaped how I thought a healthy relationship should be. So when I was in a relationship, and I'll use my own marriage as an example. When my wife and I would fight, I would assume, oh, well, this is normal. This is what couples are supposed to do. This is how it happens. Don't get me wrong, arguing is good in very, very small increments and for the right fucking reasons. Arguing about what to watch on TV, like small little spats. They're good. They're healthy. They help get that pent up frustration out, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. You shouldn't be bottling up stuff like that. But when it gets to the point where you keep everything bottled up, and then one little thing fucking sets off this giant explosion of anger and strife and argument, then that's when it's a problem. That's when you need to start talking with each other. Don't be afraid to talk to your significant other about something that's bothering you. Don't be afraid of their reaction. Don't be afraid that their reaction is going to be negative. Because of course, if you tell me I'm being a shithead, I'm going to get a little mad. But then I'm going to think, oh, I'm being a shithead. They feel like I'm being a shithead. Why do they feel like that? What exactly is it that I'm doing that makes them feel that way, that makes them view that? I think, personally, that arguing in a relationship is a good thing because it helps get shit out there. But it shouldn't go to that level. It shouldn't need to go to that level. And I'm not saying fucking nitpick each other. I'm not saying every little thing that person does, call them out on it. Because then you sound naggy and you sound nitpicky and you're right back to where you started. Certain little things, certain little behaviors, you can excuse. That's part of their personality. You don't try and change them. But if it's getting to the point where it's a constant rage, like it's rage-inducing, you should probably put a stop to it. And you should talk to you should talk to your significant other about it. Communicate with them. See how I started here, came here, and now I'm back here. Communication is key. Talk to each other. That's how it is in everything. Every relationship you have, not just with a significant other, but with a friendship. If your friend is doing something to piss you off, fucking tell them. Hey, when you did this, I felt like this. Communication is key across the fucking board. Healthy relationships. Like I said before, I feel like I'm going to be talking in circles now. It's different across the board. You know, what works for one person might not work for another. What works for everybody might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for everybody. Just do your best to figure out what works for you. Figure out how you are as a person. Figure out how you are as a person. Figure out how they are as a person. And if you really want to make it work, you can make it work. I promise you can make it work. But if it feels like you're constantly fighting an uphill battle, it might be good to count your losses and fucking bail. You know, that's everybody in the world deserves to be happy. No matter who they are, everyone in the world deserves some sort of happiness in their life. And if you can't get it from the person that you want to spend the majority of your time with, if not the rest of your life with, then what's the fucking point? That's just my thoughts on it. That's my rant for the day. Thank you for listening. If you like what you see, please click the subscribe button down below. Recommend me to your friends and family and whatnot. And I will see you next week. Have a good one. Thank you for viewing.